Well, I'm here again, ladies and gentlemen. Good news, inspirational stuff. You know, I was listening to the soapbox and I heard Trump making a presentation to some of his fans. And he was reading the teleprompter, and the teleprompter had written on it that God chosen. So Donald Trump is saying God has chosen him. Looked down and saw the world the way it is and needed someone strong, someone who could go down in the pits and be strong and do all of the wonderful things that only Donald Trump can do, right? And chose Donald Trump to come down here and to rise up at the appropriate time and become almighty dictator, in essence, to all of America and perhaps whoever else he could deceive. And I was listening to him say that stuff, and I'm thinking, now this guy is saying that God, so he has to be talking about the alternative God. You know, he's always referring about an alternative. And an alternative God is the God that does the opposite of the God that we have all hoped for, and the God that I speak to you about as being the God and only God, or the God that you say you want, because he does these wonderful things. And this God that Donald Trump was speaking about allows him to lie, to publicly cheat, and all those things that causes pain and suffering to others, and even the threatening of their lives, and saying that God is, so he has to be talking about this alternative God, right? But he's saying this stuff, and then I'm listening to others who believe, or say they believe, or following the God of love, let's use it like that, and they are sitting there talking about how crazy Donald is and how pathetic the plans, and yet they're talking about him because he seems to just keep on talking that crazy stuff, and that crazy stuff keeps him out there, and it's things, I guess, that's really magnificent. Nobody got time for that magnificent stuff, so they keep on dealing with what they got. And it blows my mind when I hear these guys who are speaking and advocating for the Democratic perspective, which to be truthful, it does address the cause and of ending pain and suffering for more people than the Republicans. And Donald Trump just seems just gone off the mark. And so you sit there and you see these guys talking, wondering, debating one another. And as you listen to them, no one seems to want to take the high road. I'm saying, for instance, when you know what Trump talking about dictating, coming, all the people that didn't kiss his boots, he wants to whip that butt. That's in essence, I'm just choosing it like that. Some of you can understand what I'm talking about. And then you got people who say, that's right. They don't care about anything. They support that all the way. Now, they got their reasons for supporting that. They have lived in a world, my friends, absent God. And their environment has produced exactly what you see them doing, what you see them speaking. This is what they have gone through. This society created these monsters, if you want to call them that. And then there are other people who perhaps are not that monstrous, but monstrous nonetheless towards somebody else. And they got this because this is where they came from. This is a product of what they were exposed to. And you got somebody else representing another view. And these all we call a melting pot, even especially those that come from other places. And here they are right here trying to come together and make a good soup. But the problem is they got no one, no chef. And when they have called themselves accepting a chef, they've gotten a chef that allows the voice of so many that contradicts each other, and they each seem to be a representation of that which they trying to say they're coming from. And it's like coming from the country. You might come from the country and go someplace else to the city, but all the countryness that was you is still you. And so you might have come out of the world and went into what you call a religiosity thing, but all that you were is still you, because you have not been delivered. Deliverance means knowing the truth. And if you're going to speak the truth, you must walk the truth. And what is the truth? The truth, my friends, is this, is that we are being used. Ever since we've been on this earth, we've been being used. Every system on the face of the earth is designed to accommodate the dreams and aspirations of a few, and everybody else, being used. Even what we have been given as being divine is to use us. We have not known the truth. But the truth of what it means to each of us is deep within our hearts. And that truth is the ability to be free. To be free to do what you want to do, to be you. We wanted to do this in peace, not having to fight, not having to watch our backs. We wanted to be prosperous in the things that we do because it's all good. We wanted to be joyous, that's deep in our hearts. We wanted to be happy. And everything that we've dreamed, we wanted to live it. We didn't want dreams to just be something passing through the midnight. We wanted to be experienced. That's what we want. That, my friends. But then there are others, my friend, that comes along and you know the story. You can't do that. Why? Because I am the master. I am the chosen one. I am the smartest one. I am the one who have done it all. I know more than the experts in every area because it's really my way. And it doesn't make any difference what you got to say. My way is boss. That's what is being said by the dictators. And people who just been brought up in all of these various kinds of ways, they are all weak. And so they are, here you got somebody that's scared the hell out of all of them, and they want us to succumb, to just make it through. Because the number one thing is to make it through. And see, to be real about the truth is you're already free. You know the best thing for life is not bondage, not pain, not suffering, not lying, not cheating, not hating, not racism, not bigotry, not terror, not shooting kids down, not war, not poverty. Oh man, but this is what happens. And this one who has been delivered knows this. It's not bending down to that. You must be out of your mind if you think that one who's led by the Spirit of God is going to bend to that. No, they are going to walk according to the truth. And the truth is that everybody is entitled to what God has designed for them to have. And if they are not having it because they've been lied to, they've been deceived and being abused, and somebody who knows the truth got to stand up and speak for them. Take these chains from them. Give them the movement to raise their hands up once again and say, thank God Almighty that what was in my heart is now coming out. And I can see God, because what we're looking at is just what we just got through talking about. Our needs, our wants, and our desires are being met when we desire them. Why? Because we learn that there's a power that we cannot see, but we can allow that power to be in us. And as we allow that power to be in us, knowing who we are, we can't lose. And then when the enemy, those who say you didn't lick my boots, want to come at us and kill us, well, this is what they do. They don't know any better. When you hear Donald Trump and them talking about killing people, they don't know any better. They think that's the way to have your way. When you hear nations talking about kicking somebody's butt and taking something, this is because this is how they have grown. They don't know any better. They don't know how to negotiate on the facts of life about what and how wonderful it is to be one. To be one. If you can get a husband and a wife to be one, I mean truly one. I'm not talking about a man and woman coming together. But I'm talking about to be one where they can say each other's words. They can walk in each other's tracks because they know where you're going and they ain't riding nobody's back. They're right there giving it all they got. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the real. So if you want to take somebody, it is my time. Those who know the truth, it is my time to graduate. It is my time. This is what we're saying, the ones who know the truth. And if you got somebody you pissed off with, if you got somebody you want to scare, you don't scare me. Now is the time for you to open that door and let me fly. This is what the one that is loving God, this is the one that stands up for you. This is the one that stands up for the blacks, the whites, the every other color in between. This is the one that stands up for the straight. This is the one that stands up for the gay. This is the one that just stands up for people, because if any decision must be made to cause pain and suffering, it got to come from God. It ain't coming from me. I ain't smart enough to know that. That got to come from God. And what God has designed is going to happen. And it don't need you or I to carry it through. So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I think, let me hold up for a second. What I want us to remember, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, is that regardless of what we hear in relationship to our government, in relationship to the systems that we live under, corruption, pain, and suffering is an example of the absence of the truth. And when these things exist, all of the individuals are responsible. So we don't really have any time to laugh at anyone. They do it different than we do it. One say that is the right way, another say that is the right way. And neither of them work. So both are wrong. The right way is the way that works for everyone. The right way is the way that works for everyone. And if it's to work for everyone, then everyone must participate in the process. Everyone must participate in the process. Everyone must agree that they're willing to play their part in the success of the game of life. And until we can do that, we will always be manipulated, we will always be controlled, and we will always experience the pain and the suffering that we've always experienced. And that power to make a change is with us. We don't need everybody just for the individual to make up the individual mind. The individual mind needs only the individual with a will, a desire. And when it is, and it's known by the fruit it bears. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. I called this, when I initially said I got to go in and say something on it, God's calling of Trump. And I called it Trump's God. Trump's God. Trump's God. Thank you.